Hello, my friends. We're going to talk about Mercury retrograde pattern today. There's a trading strategy that I developed over, oh God, like probably 15 years at least. I've been watching the S&P 500 in relation to Mercury retrograde and how it impacts it. And there's definitely a pattern that forms. There's three stages to the pattern forming. And so the first stage is approaching. The first stage of Mercury retrograde, which is what they call the pre-shadow. We enter into what's called Mercury storm, which is where everything starts to get disrupted. And, Mercury impacts a lot of things at that time. We're also going to, before we get into that, we're going to go over SPY. We're going to go over Bitcoin. We'll likely have some questions and answers. This is a regularly scheduled live stream for members. Anybody can watch. Members can ask unlimited questions. If you're interested in becoming a member, all you got to do is go to the YouTube channel Tarot for Traders, click on join, and sign up for the $50 a month subscription. Gets you unlimited access or unlimited questions on these lives. And for the most part, only members are able to ask the questions at this point. When we do have subscriber only, a member would get priority answers as well. So if you're just joining us, I was just saying we're going to cover SPY, we're going to cover Bitcoin. I ate an almond, and there's like little bits of it still in my mouth. Ugh. Sorry, guys. And then towards after SPY and Bitcoin are covered, I'm going to get into Mercury retrograde chart pattern and how I'm preparing for that. I placed my first trade today that I haven't traded in quite some time, so I'd say probably my first trade in at least 6 weeks. And it's a multi-day position. It's a multi-day short position in anticipation of what should be taking place relatively soon, based on Mercury retrograde strategy. But before we get into that stuff, likely here at the end of the day, the science card is a little tricky because we've got this high in the post market, and sometimes what happens is the high correlation in the post market takes place at the close. And the science card, it is indicating, often the science card indicates a high of some kind, not always. And what throws me off is this ruin down here. But my point is that we'll either be at highs when we close, or more likely we're going to revisit today's highs tomorrow. Right, with this science card here and the defeat card here. Cross-reading correlation, cross-reading congruencies. If you don't know what those are, guys, that's something that I'll explain at some point. Definitely we're going to teach cross-reading congruencies and correlations and double congruencies and secondary congruencies and all that type of stuff in Investor Profit University, which based on how far we've gotten in developing the course, it's likely going to launch before March of 2025. In general, do I expect a 5% pullback in November or December? I'm seeing conflicting forecasts from astrologers. So right off the bat, when you see something like that, if these are reliable astrologers, they're consistently reliable, and this type of thing happens where they're kind of contradicting each other. Usually what that means is that what they're saying is reliable, but they're not seeing the whole picture. And if you combine those two together, you might get a much more accurate depiction of what will take place. Well, let's see about a 5% pullback. I just finished the December SPY as well. Where'd it go? Not so much. I mean, really what I'm seeing is out of the low that we have in November, there should be a huge move going from the low into the high of December. And then there's a pullback, it looks like mid-December. The issue being, well, you know what? Let me open up the 2025. So this, as far as cross-reading congruencies are concerned, This luxury card appears in the December reading, but at the very start of it, indicating that we likely have bleed over into the 2025 January card. Bleed over is something I would talk about and teach you guys about more detail in the Investor Profit University as well. What the heck? Oh yeah, see, now when we look at 2025, I get an indication of a decline out of December. Yeah, look at this. This is the 2025 reading. I'm not sure if I put out the video for this yet. I probably didn't. I should get on that, huh? I think I probably forgot to put it out, so I got to edit that and get it out. Um, but you can see, so the first card here in the 2025 reading is the failure card, which is one of the more significant cards, or decline cards. Yep, look. So this is what I mean by cross-reading congruencies to give you an idea. So the failure card appears here in the later part of the December reading, right? The late December card and the early December card, they both appear in early December. But now we have the early January card appearing here in late December, right? So the pattern stays accurate. It's just that we have a little bleed over into 2025, indicating that the decline most likely is going to start in December. And I'll talk about that in a lot more detail when I release the 2025 reading. Is it going to be 5%? Let's see. Interesting. I think it's probably going to be a full-on correction. Yeah, it's more like 7%. We're going to see like a 7% correction somewhere here starting in December and leading into January. That's my sense, something along those lines. All right, so with Bitcoin, guys, we saw this rally into key resistance. My sense is that we're probably already in the truce card and we should see more decline back into like troughs around this area here. Let's see. So there's going to be some sideways rotation. It's hard to. I'm not getting a clear answer as far as where we tap out on the decline, but I wouldn't expect this to go much lower than what we saw here, uh, because we've got sideways rotation for the most part. All right, so Mercury retrograde strategy. Well, matter of fact, let me see what other questions we got first. Hey, it was luck. Can I please guide on Celsius earnings? I think today, and are Celsius and SSYS more bullish or bearish in November? Unless it's hidden, I'm not seeing earnings coming out for this. Oh wait, this is a 5-minute chart. Sorry. Yeah, okay, here we go. So the earnings are tomorrow. I got a weird response for that one. So I'm getting a clairvoyant impression to be careful. It's coming to me like to be careful around the earnings with this one. But it's unclear exactly why. Unfortunately, that happens, guys. SSYS. All right, so first off, is Celsius more bullish or bearish in November? What's the overall trend in November? This one's bullish. Celsius is significantly to the upside in November. And then SSYS, let's take a look. This one's going to be dealing with resistance level that we failed to break through many times before. It looks like it's probably at that resistance right now. Let's see. Is it this resistance? No. It feels like this is the resistance, but let's double check. if you're just joining us, we're looking at SSYS right now. I'm determining what resistance it is that I sense we're going to be highlighting in November for this one, meaning that there's probably multiple failed attempts against it, like, and we decline off of it. Yeah, it's this one right here. So, you know, be mindful of that. All right, so Mercury retrograde strategy, my friends. And the reason why I'm talking about it today has to do quite a bit with the cross-reading congruencies, right? So on the 1 month, for SPY on the 1 month reading, we've got this science card, we've got the Ace of Wands card here on the 6th and the 7th, but sometimes it's plus or minus a day, you follow the sequence of events, and when you've got these dailies, the cross-reading congruencies help for you to see where those plus and minuses are. Jeez. And so we've got the science card here. We've got the science card here and the Ace of Wands here. So my sense is that we're a little early on that in the sequence of events. We're probably already at this Ace of Wands situation. So I entered in here. If you've got early access on our website, Tarot for Traders, then you have access to this live updated trading view chart, as well as the Discord trade alert. So even though I got on after I opened up the position here, people who had the Discord early access Discord alerts were notified as soon as I made the entered into this trade. So basically, anywhere within this green ellipse is a good entry point, I think, for a multi-day, like a multi-day swing trade to the downside. Probably exiting out of it on the 14th or the 18th. Right, and this kind of like these rectangles that kind of shade parts of the reading indicate the timing of the first phase of Mercury retrograde. At this point down here, the 26th, we enter the second phase of Mercury retrograde strategy. Let's open up the Mercury retrograde strategy chart. Oh, I got rid of the bars. What happened? Oh, that's annoying. Well, the bars are gone, but it was... I want to show you what we did last time. $8.10. All right, so you can see right here, 8.10. Pretty big move, and then like a retracement. What I'm getting at is, so with our Mercury retrograde that we've got coming up, that's basically it starts, the first phase starts on the 7th, in between the 6th and the 7th, and whatever chart behavior takes place between that and 11:25 should basically, we should see the inverse chart pattern of it taking place between 11:25 and 12:15, followed by usually another like not a mirror image exactly, but pretty much the same overall trend direction as the first phase. You see it in the third phase as well. So starting 12:15 and taking us into the 2nd of January. So usually you get a reversal on these dates, and I'm anticipating just that we have a reversal off of these levels here. See, this was an entry, this was an exit, and then it didn't come down as much as it usually does. Sometimes the weekends will throw it off, but our expectation on it coming back down didn't come down far enough. But this first part was on point. Entry into short up here, close short, open up long, close long. These ellipses are all things that I draw on the chart. Anybody with the live updated TradingView chart as part of the early access subscription has got access to that, so they were following along. Do I advise a VIX call tomorrow? And do you think Bitcoin will hit 100K in 2025 or 2026? A VIX call tomorrow? I mean, if you're going off of SPY, it might make sense to do it first thing in the morning, if not at the present moment. Like, if you don't want to miss it, I would say maybe like do a partial now. If you can't do a partial, then wait till tomorrow. It's better to miss an entry than to get in at the wrong time. Do I think Bitcoin will hit 100K in 2025, 2026? Sorry, my mic wasn't working, I think. So, if you're just joining us, guys, we're taking a look at Bitcoin to see if we think it's going 100K in 2025 or 2026. I really wasn't far off as far as what my estimation was in 2025. I had it at 65 or less, and we went up to. I left a little bit on the table there, but still we're pretty close. Considering we did it like out in 2023. And Bitcoin is one of the Bitcoin is one of the tickers that we cover with the monthly access subscription. So all of these ellipses, this is what I was saying when it was muted, apologies. All of these ellipses pretty much were sound as entry and exit points, drawn on the chart in real time or ahead of time, to help guide people who've got the monthly access subscription in and out of trade. So we had an entry and exit, an entry and exit, an entry and exit, an entry and exit, an entry and exit. All of those were solid. We missed this one right here. And I leave that up so that people get an honest reflection of what our accuracy is like and don't do foolish things like bet the entire farm on it. You know, that would just be dumb. It changes the way that you make decisions. But that's all part of the monthly access subscription. The Discord trade alerts and the live updated trading view charts, those are a part of the monthly access subscription. Huge game changer. So if you're interested in the early access or the monthly access subscriptions, I'll show you guys how to get that at the end of this live stream. Let's see what the cards have to say here. I'm getting a yes for 2025, likely early on. When is there a good entry into PLTR? Um, it's about 35. Let's take a look. PLTR is one that we cover with our total access subscription. That's our premium subscription, gets you access to everything on our channel. When's a good entry? That's a nice move. Wow. Oops. This 1 year reading was created October 12th, 2023. Quite a long time ago, considering how many I've done since then. So likely you have an entry in the not too distant future, like midway through this month. We should see a peak. We should see a rally along a diagonal trend line ending with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through the diagonal trend line taking us into the low with volatility. I mean, on a grand scale of things, not the best entry, but based on what's transpired, if you're looking to chase this move to the upside, which it makes sense because we've got a highest high either here at the end of the year or in early 2025 based on what's going on over here. Um, I would say this is probably going to do like a move higher and then a full retracement back down, maybe through this resistance right here. Let's say. Unclear, but I would expect that this gap will get filled in November, probably midway through November. This is basically what you're looking for is that chart behavior, a rally long diagonal trend line ending with a fast sudden move higher and a breakdown. This actually could be the fast sudden move higher and then the breakdown. Let me see. This is probably it. This is probably the fast sudden move higher right here that then takes us into a low. Okay, so there's an alternate where we come out of a low and go into a fast sudden move higher. Usually it's the other way around, but you could read it that way. I would probably look for that 44 mark as an entry point. Oh, I get it. So as in about $35. Got you. I don't necessarily think we're gonna go that low. We've got strong indications of a high over here, in early December. No PLTR for 2025. Doubtful I'll get to that unless it's ordered. Just letting everybody know. There's so much stuff to do here at the end of the year already. We did the 10-year April 3rd, 2023. Yeah, I think you're probably better off waiting for this gap to be covered. I don't know about $35. I just don't. I don't think it's. I wonder why you picked that number if there's a reason or not, but I'm not really seeing the 35 at this time. All right, so based on what I was talking about with Mercury retrograde strategy, um, I'm going to explain why I entered when I did. Because we've got these cross-reading congruencies. So basically, anywhere within here, I think is a good entry point for a short. And I'm gonna make those markings to kind of like give an idea of what we're gonna be looking at for the pattern. Eleven seven, 1125. And then the third piece of the Mercury retrograde strategy takes place 12:15, ending on 1-2. Oh, nice. These are almost the same number of days, just slightly shorter on the back end. So basically, what takes place? I've been watching Mercury retrograde strategy for years, guys. Specifically in relation to the S&P 500 and combining that with tarot, it's become very, very clear that there is a pattern. It's not the same pattern every Mercury retrograde, but it creates the same, from the same rules the pattern is created. And what I mean by that is what takes place in the first phase, you see the inverse of in the second phase, followed by a repetition of the first phase taking place in the third phase. Now, they're not going to be identical because weekends are going to throw the pattern off a little bit. Like you might have a trading day on a week here that in the sequence of events for the pattern here ends up being on a weekend. So it could be like a big move here and then the weekend like mutes out that big move in this. So you got to be careful. But overall, it's going to be the same trend direction throughout both of these periods, and the inverse of the first phase, the inverse in the second. And as we get into that, we're going to watch this closely, and then I'll likely be able to draw it quite accurately for you what'll transpire here. I know I did it last one really, really solidly. So I wanted to get in here because sometimes it starts a little early, like the reversal might be within some choppy behavior, and we've got those cross-reading congruencies, like I said, where we've got the Science card and the Ace of Wands closely tied to each other here. Those are very toppy kind of cards. Oh God, I so hope I'm right. Oof. I'm usually right, but this time it's important. There's somebody watching these predictions that could literally change my life. So, and actually change the channel, because by changing my life, I'll be able to get a huge team, and then we'll blow up like crazy. So, in any case, I think we're going to be pretty solid. I have a good feeling about it. So with that said, the Science card and the Ace of Wands on the dailies, we're already seeing the Science card here at the end of the day. Right, and then we see it again at the high here with the Ace of Wands here. This is on the 6th, so the sequence of events is a little bit early here. Oh, interesting. Here's another cross-reading congruency. So you've got this is talking about somebody speaking, most likely somebody's in the news. Oh, well, I guess this is gonna have to do with the election, but this is saying something shouldn't be trusted here. Yikes. And then we see it again here on this morning of the 6th, just in the same reading as the Science card and the Ace of Wands. So these are what you call cross-reading congruencies, cross-reading correlations. They have extra strength, extra emphasis. This is all part of ESO Meta, which was developed over 25 years, my friends. All right, so I'm going to show you guys how to get either early access, monthly access, or the total access, and I'll explain what they each have within them. And then, provided the market hasn't closed just yet, we'll come back, we'll take a look and see how it ended up. But my sense is that likely you'll have an opportunity at the end of the day to get into a partial short. Again, if you can't do a partial, like you only have enough to like do one position, happens with some people, you know. You what you want to do is wait in a case like that. If you only have one shot to time it, you're better off missing it than timing it wrong. But if you can do it, stagger into the short position, I would say at the close, if we're at highs, that would be a good entry point. Tomorrow morning, the big move out of a key support level on a multi-day scale, big move to the upside, revisiting a crest or a high somewhere here around 10 to 1, excuse me, 11 to 1. We'll have a failed attempt to break through key resistance probably at these price levels. That's where you would enter into the short or complete the short position in preparation for this reversal that we should see. All right, so the way that you get the subscriptions, we have a website, tarotfortraders.com. You want to have your, oh, and before I even get into that, guys, we have a ton of card information. All of the information for the tarot cards specific to trading. It's all of the information about these cards that you'll find on this website is specific to trading. It's probably the most in-depth library of tarot card information specific to trading, and it's free. All you got to do is sign up. Basically, create a username and a password, and you have access to all that info. All right, so you hover over Order Now, click on Subscriptions. We've got early access here. This is $60 a month. It gets you access to our live Discord trade alerts specifically for SPY, as well as the live Discord, live updated trading view chart where we draw the entry and the exits, usually, right? Not all the time, but usually. And then monthly access is basically you're getting access to the same things, but you're getting access for the Discord trade alerts and the live updated trading view charts, as well as the full predictions for each month with the highs and the lows predicted to the day, all the best trades that we see, all of that stuff for Apple, Amazon, Bitcoin, gold, Google, Meta, Nvidia. This should be USO, Shibcoin, Solana, Theta, Tesla, the VIX, and XRP. And then total access, and this is $300 a month, guys. Super undervalued considering the superior edge that you get. These are game changing, like especially if you're serious about trading ESO meta analysis. These are game changing tools, my friends. So basically, total access is all of the stuff that you get in early and monthly access. Plus, you get access to the paid version of all of the 1 years that we have. Here's all the 1 years for 2025 that we have so far. And you get access to any 1 years that come out in the future, as well as any paid multi-years. We've got the altcoin picker readings and the stock sector picker readings for 2025 coming out. I haven't decided whether or not those are going to be monthly or total, but total is currently $500 a month or $5,000 for the year. It's the Supreme package, and it gets you access to everything. Not to mention, I will definitely know who the heck you are. Yeah, there's some total access, and believe me, they definitely stand out. Yeah, see, here we are at eyes again for the day. I would say remember, only do a partial short. There's likely gonna be more opportunity or a better opportunity. It's probably the same opportunity, but it could be better. So do a partial. If you can't do a partial, then just wait for the higher probable location. And if I'm not around to alert anybody that's following this chart, guys, if I'm not around to alert for some reason, I mean, life happens. I might not be. I most likely will be. But who knows? Maybe there's an emergency. So follow. Rule of thumb, always follow these ellipses unless otherwise specified. Don't wait for me to tell you to follow it. If I don't want you to follow it, I will tell you. Make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. So when we're in this price range, this is somewhere where you want to enter, and you can see we're kind of poking into it right now. With that said, I'm going to roll. Thank you all so much for watching. Much love and appreciation to all my supporters, all my watchers out there. Please be one of those fortunate few that follows through on the rule of karma. It's the whole purpose of the channel. It's the whole reason why we're doing this. The subscriptions, they help cover the channel and keep us rolling. But the rule of karma is the purpose of the channel, my friends. So you know where to go. You know what to do. If you don't, check out our channel, our YouTube channel, Tarot for Traders. It's the video playing on our YouTube channel, and it explains the rule of karma in detail for you. So you know where to go. You know what to do. Blessings to all my angel investors. Oh, Dow Jones, will it drop to 20 this week or next? I got a yes for that. It will be, by the end of next week. It should have dropped to $20. All right, my friends. Blessings to all my angel investors. Next scheduled live stream it will be a subscribers only live stream, meaning that you have to be a subscriber for at least 20 minutes to speak. And the time of that is 8 p.m. on Wednesday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m.